defined. Attacks can be sporadic. I'm like a drunken master without the drink spazzing. Jackie Chan on these punks who wanna rob. I'm turning supermarkets into scenes from Rumble in the Bronx. Throwing punches in bunches, every one of them landing. Accuracy's 100. I smash it with one punch, man.
Okay, people, we back. Had to make sure I was on the right day. So we are on day 9, and I was figuring out what workout to do. So here, and you know what I'm saying, I got to get that in there. Probably won't finish the whole can, and of course got my bottle of water. Go through about 2 of those before the day is out. But so what I'm looking to do is, I used to do CrossFit workouts, like the workout of the day, or meet the ladies, if any of you guys are familiar with that. So I'm gonna come up with my own. Haven't thought of the name yet. I'll probably have the name for it while I'm talking to y'all before I start the workout. But it's going to involve thrusters. So that's going to be squat. I'm gonna squat with the barbell, overhead shoulder press. That's going to be about, and the only weights that I got for it, since this will be my first time doing that for a minute, squirt. Ugh. Look at that anthill. Like, these guys have no chill. I don't know what brought them out there like that, but my guys, back at it again. Anyway, but so what I had in mind was, I was talking with my daughter the other day, and I said, you know what, I need to start hitting the bag again, because lifting weights, resistance training is good, and everybody has a preference for why they do what they do. But I want to make an emphasis on functional strength. So I want my punches to be hard. I want my punches to be powerful. My knees, my kicks, my elbows. And so I want to stay in that range and kind of mix in the accessory work with the actual movements that I would be performing, for self-defense. So one of those will be thrusters, because they combine 2 movements with the overhead shoulder press and the squats. So I'm kind of toying with maybe about the 5 to 10 rep range. And I say that because after that, I'll be doing a jab. I'll be doing a heavy bag. So it'll be the thrusters, heavy bag, then run around the neighborhood, which is about 400 meters. And I'll be looking to do that 4 times. So the combination, I haven't thought about it yet. I want it to be a combination of kicks and punches. So it'll probably be one that I've made up in the past. It'll probably be like a jab, cross, hook, 2 elbows, followed up by 2 kicks. And I'm thinking of the 5 to 10 rep range. Again, it's pretty humid out here, so I'll see how I feel. I'm not training for no fight yet. Well, I'm training for the fight of my life, preservation of my health. But other than that, yeah, I'm trying to use, not trying to, but you got to use wisdom training out here in this heat, because your brother will pass out. So I'm not trying to do that. So what we're looking at here is, bam, and I'll show you, boom, thrusters, heavy bag work, and then we're gonna run around the neighborhood. Like I said, it's humid. I love it. Every time the summer ends, I'm waiting for the next year for the summer to come back again. So no thoughts yet, because I just got up from a nap not too long ago. This is what happens when you go to bed late. You gotta be up super early, and that's one of the habits that I need to break. I've gotten very, very comfortable. I don't know, it seems like I come alive when it's nighttime, and then I want to work, but then I don't. I get distracted, and I'll be doing a bunch of other stuff that I have no business doing. So full transparency, those are one of the habits that I need to work on, and the self-discipline that I need to impose on myself. Therefore, it's getting to bed on time, and if I'm going to stay up late, that I gotta be productive, doing things that are going to set me up for tomorrow and move the needle forward. So gotta figure out some ways to hack that, because I be feeling it sometimes. It's automatic, man. You just, like, you sit down and just be like, Netflixing and chilling when you're supposed to be working. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Daryl, wonder why the needle ain't moving forward. So You know, it's always good to rag on yourself. Just a reminder to look back on this, you know, so if my kids see it, they know to learn from my mistakes. But anywho, yeah, it is humid. I'm sweating and I'm just standing out here. I didn't do nothing yet. So we about to get it in. Think I'll stretch, do some jumping jack squats and lunges to warm up the muscles a little bit. Don't have to do too much again. It's warm out. So, and let you check out, let you in on the workout, see how it looks. You can try it for yourself, but this is day 9 of that journey. And as always, if there's any thoughts, life lessons that I come across, I'll be sure to, boom, expound on them. And so let's get to it.
Okay, so here we are getting into the workout. I always try to warm up before I start all my workouts because I may be sore the night before. I might have slept wrong, but in any case, you want to make sure the body is warmed up and ready for the stress you're about to put it through. So I normally do about anywhere from 20 to 50 jumping jacks. I think here I did 20, 10 squats, 10 lunges, and then we're going to get into the workout. All right, so we're getting into the first set. So I'm doing 10 barbell thrusters, squatting and going into an overhead press with the barbell 10 times. Right after that, I'm going into my combination. It is a jab cross, hook, left elbow, right elbow. I slide step back, go for a reverse roundhouse kick into a knee. And I'm doing that 5 times. Now, it might not seem like I'm going with maximum intensity, but you also got to understand that you want to pace yourself, especially in the heat. Okay. Now, as I said before, it is about 90 degrees outside, maybe even hotter with the humidity, I believe. And so when I was talking earlier, I was already sweating and I wasn't doing anything. So as you can see, I'm ripping the elbows into the bag. I'm sliding back for that roundhouse and going for that knee. And what I'm just simply simulating here is if anybody out there has been in any kind of competition where it involves combat, you have to be conditioned. You have to have the stamina. You're going to be throwing a combination of kicks and punches for a duration of 2 to 3 minutes, depending on what league you're in, what level you are at, whether you are sparring amateur boxing and kickboxing. Usually, don't quote me on it, are 2-minute rounds. And then when you get to professional or get up there in those levels, like championship rounds, at least when I did a couple championship fights, I had 5-minute rounds. Oh, they were 5 3-minute rounds, excuse me. They were 5 3-minute rounds, and I was very conditioned for that fight. And the only thing that I worked on, see, it doesn't take a lot, but it's just training smart, not training hard, but training smart. And so I ran a lot of hills for that particular fight. I didn't spar too much. I wish I would have had a lot more sparring, but as they say, there is no better training than doing the actual motions and the techniques you would do for the actual sport. So if you're a runner, the best training to do is running. If you're a fighter, the best kind of training to do is actually sparring, and everything else is accessory work. So you definitely want to make sure and just learn from your mistakes. If you are a student on the way to becoming a master or a teacher of any sort, I like to look back on all the fights that I've done, and I like to assess what I've kind of done better. And when I look back at all of my fights, I come to the one conclusion that I wish I would have had a better training camp, but I worked with what I had at the time. I was moving around a lot, and I just wasn't stationary at the time when I was very active on the fight scene. So I just, I kind of put the workouts together, and usually I don't train for competition. I more so train for life. So I have a big, beautiful family that I have to protect and that I want to protect. And I can't do that if I'm looking fat and sloppy and I'm not out here getting my exercise in, because I do want to be around for my great grandbabies. So
I structure the workouts in such a way that I try to simulate the kind of actions, the jab, cross, hook, elbows, kicking, the kneeing. I try to simulate all of that, even though I don't plan. Any smart fighter would not plan on sitting here and dancing around the street and trying to defend themselves off of one or multiple attackers for 3 freaking minutes. No, they're gonna take the person out as quickly as they can, and that's where the Muay Thai comes in, the destruction of the limbs. That's where the judo comes in, the throwing them down, tossing them over the shoulder, the sweeps. Then you got the jiu-jitsu with the submissions, chokehold, arm breaks. And so I'm incorporating all of that in any kind of stimuli that I can think of that is going to facilitate the kind of stamina, the kind of endurance, and especially, guys, let's be real, the confidence that I have when I'm driving, when I'm out with the family, when I'm in the movie theaters, when I'm in the mall. I have the confidence that if I have to throw down, I can do so, and I can do so in a manner where I'm going to walk away and my family's going to walk away intact to the best of my ability. Because, if I don't get you, then I'm gonna die trying, but at the end of the day, I just don't do this just for that purpose alone, but I do it for overall health. This is a great stress reliever to be outside on this bag, ripping on it, getting all of the stress and the things that men, fathers, husbands that we have to think about, that we deal with, that we shoulder the burden of on our own sometimes, and just to get a release. Video games doesn't do it for me. Going on drives, not necessarily. I like being in the gym. I like training. I like hitting the pads to release that energy, and just, it's a good stress reliever. It also helps with your sleep as well, because, definitely have to have that sleep, but you want to have a great quality of sleep. So with that being said, there were some ideas that I did expound upon while I was training, and since the audio sucked, I said, let me go ahead and just do the voiceover. So I had talked about how when you're training, you want to give it everything you got in anything that you do, no matter what it is. No matter what it is you do, you want to give it everything you have, and you want to be better than you were the day before. And in order to do that, there are some practices and there are some principles that you're going to have to implement. There are some things that you're going to have to switch up in your day-to-day and how you do things. And you're going to have to start by being aware of yourself, being able to assess where you are in your body, where you are in life, where you are mentally, or being able to get around some people that can help bring those things out and articulate those things you aren't able to articulate about yourself. Hopefully you have somebody like that in your life. If you do not, I would strongly advise that you find somebody or get somebody to. It is not necessarily true when people say that, well, I don't have nobody to talk to, and it's kind of an insult, because there are people out there to talk to. It's just you're not doing the work to reach out, because guess what? They have lives to live. They can't read minds, and they don't know what's going on with you if you don't reach out and let them know. So stop with the excuses and be accountable to somebody who can help you, who can encourage you, who can lift you up in those times where you're down. Because guess what? I was a self-starter for a long time, primarily my college years in life, just doing training and the things that I loved on my own. But it was also cool when I had a community of people who were interested in the same things that I was. And so when I had my days I didn't feel like doing things, they would be the people that encouraged me and lift me up. And sometimes when I would see them working out and I'm just, trying to make an excuse and get out of it, it would encourage me to want to go out there and work out myself. And so, the goal here is not so much as working out, but it's determining that, I want to have a better quality of life, because I want to be the best version of myself each and every day for my family and for the people who depend upon me. And I can't do that if I'm just being lax with my personal care and hygiene and making sure that I'm moderately fit. So if you don't take anything else from this, be accountable, be excellent in everything that you do, and look to be better than you were the day before.
Fine, attacks can be sporadic. I'm like a drunken master without the drink spazzing. Jackie Chan on these punks who wanna rob. I'm turning supermarkets into scenes from Rumble in the Bronx. Throwing punches in bunches, every one of them landing. Accuracy's 100, I smash him with one punch, man.